Welcome back to the Richard Sherman podcast. And you know, we don't usually do a Monday night recap, but this was a special occasion. The Detroit Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens. They went into Baltimore, handled business. Mitchell, I'm going to leave it up to you, baby.
Richard, I appreciate it, man. You got me off the couch and got me onto this podcast, and you motivated me, man. I was going into this game a little nervous. I told you about this going into this game. Freaked out. I thought we were going to get dog walked in Baltimore like we did last time, 38-6. Detroit, it's a different breed of Detroit Lions this time around. Holy cow. Did they calm the nerves of all Detroiters? And I think they put the national landscape of the NFL on notice that this team is truly here to stay as a Super Bowl contender. Richard, how did this happen?
Mitchell, they came to play, and Dan Campbell came so prepared to open up the bag of tricks. I mean, you would have thought this was last year and somebody else was at the helm of this offense, but it wasn't. It's new offensive coordinator Johnny Morton. I mean, you saw the option. I mean, every 4th and 1, you knew what it was. If you're the Baltimore Ravens defense, you're like, God, 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You know these guys are going for it, and they executed so well. The option play from Amon-Ra St. Brown to Jahmyr Gibbs was masterful. The 4th and 2 up 7 in the fourth quarter. Insert play that they were setting up. They ran 3 or 4 actions off of it. Then they finally got one. Sent Amon-Ra on a corner route, play action. Jared Goff delivered a beautiful pass. It didn't matter either way because it was a holding call on Marlon Humphreys anyways. So at that point, it was all cake. But let's talk about David Montgomery. David Montgomery absolutely took over this game. His 72-yard run was the moment I said, wait a minute. Don't you hear me, baby? It's going to be all right. We don't want to fight. Hey. Mitchell, it started to go. And you started to say, hey, this ain't the same old Detroit Lions. This ain't the Detroit Lions that got blown out and boat raced by the Baltimore Ravens. They got something on their mind. Dan Campbell had something on his mind. And then let's go to the other side of the ball really quickly. Because it was like Oprah out there. Oprah must have been in Baltimore, Mitchell, because they were giving out sacks. I don't know if I've ever seen Lamar Jackson under duress like he was this game. They were containing him. They were tackling him. They were sacking him. They were hitting him. They were punishing him. They were punishing Derrick Henry. That goal line stand was incredible. That goal line stand to have Derrick Henry first and goal. They had 4 shots at it from about the 2 or 3 yard line. And the Detroit defense stood up, not only stood up, but almost forced a turnover on Lamar Jackson on that rollout play. They forced a fumble. You know, it was a bit of a scrum, but it was a stop. It was a turnover on downs. I was like, oh my God, this defense is showing up. It's been a weakness for so long. We've always talked about what is Detroit going to do? Who are they going to pick up? Who are they going to trade to really solidify this pass rush? Little did we know, Mitchell, the answer was right there. Who was it?
It's El-Quadin Muhammad, Richard. 2.5 sacks from El-Quadin Muhammad, and a lot of the Detroit fan base was up in arms as Darius Smith went and signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. They all wanted him back in Detroit, and he was a great player here for a short-lived period of time. But this team, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, kept faith in the guys that they had in-house. I know they liked El-Quadin Muhammad. This is a guy 30 years old. You know, he's been a relative journeyman in the league, and now he's been given his true opportunity here, lining up opposite of Aidan Hutchinson and wreaking havoc on Lamar Jackson all night. You saw it from him. You saw it from Derek Barnes. You saw pressure from Alex Anzalone. Obviously, Aidan Hutchinson got in on a couple plays. DJ Reader made a huge shoestring tackle. I mean, this defensive line really stepped up, and this was the defensive line won them this game, in my opinion, and also that front 7 linebacking core. And then you look at the opportunities they missed, Richard. I mean, they won by 8. They could have won this game by 15, 20. Brian Branch, dropped interception. Obviously DJ Reed dropped one in the end zone as well. But all in all, I mean, this team played A football, and they're going to beat a lot of teams playing like this, Richard. But it is so impressive for them to go on the road and beat this Baltimore Raven team. That is what they 27-2. Lamar Jackson is against the NFC. We'll make it 27-3. The Detroit Lions just put the entire league on notice. They are Super Bowl contenders.
I think it was 24-2. Now he's 24-3. And obviously, this was a beating. They dismantled them. But let's talk about the sack. Jack Campbell got a sack. Derek Barnes got a sack. Muhammad, like you said, had 2.5. Anzalone got in on it with a half a sack. But your guy, Aidan Hutchinson, got a sack. Nowaski got a sack. 7 sacks on the day. That's dominant. That's dominant. And you talk about losing both coordinators. And to get a performance like that, there was a lot of concern after losing to Green Bay, and rightfully so. But it's a division opponent, division game. They were well prepared. They were rearing on all cylinders. You kind of got hit in the mouth. It was one of those games that things just didn't go your way. But since then, this Detroit team looks like the Detroit team we have grown to know. A dominant, physical, really, really gritty, blue-collar football team. And they're just wearing that Honolulu blue. They look really, really, really good. I'm going to have a hard time not moving around my top 5 and putting the Detroit Lions somewhere in there, Mitchell. I don't know where they're going to be, but it's hard to keep them out. The Baltimore Ravens, they're 1-2 now. You got to go. You got to go. You must go. You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here until you can figure it out. That's what I got to say. And Derrick Henry fumbling again in the fourth quarter of a huge game. They played 3 games this season. He fumbled in the fourth quarter in 2 of them in critical situations. Aidan Hutchinson made a heck of a play. DJ Reed recovered it, but that's starting to become a concern for this team because he's not a guy who's fumbled in these situations. In the past, he's usually been pretty reliable, and over the last couple games, they've found a way to stuff Derrick Henry and stop him. So that's a concern for the Baltimore Ravens. They're not. I can't say they're stopping Lamar Jackson. He threw for 288 on 21 of 27 passing and 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough today. It wasn't enough today. And that defense to give up 38 points, again, Jared Goff deserves a ton of credit. There were 4 rushing touchdowns, but he did a masterful job of just pushing his offense down the field, controlling the game, understanding, not putting the ball in harm's way, taking what the defense gives him. There were probably a couple times he probably could have got a first down with his legs, but he tried to throw it out, and that didn't work out. But I think this gives the One Pride a lot of hope. This gives the Detroit fans a lot of hope. All is not lost. There is hope in Detroit, and there should be Super Bowl dreams, Mitchell.
I'm dreaming, Richard, and I think that dream, they play like this, it might turn into a reality. Obviously, there's a lot of season left. Richard, let's talk about the Detroit Lions' DNA of going for it. Like you said, they're a tough, gritty team that you fully expect Dan Campbell, 4th and 2, up 31-24 with 2 minutes left in this game, coming out of the 2-minute warning, and in the back of your mind, they're going for it at midfield. Break down the play, because we talked about it off air, and break down exactly what's going on with Marlon Humphrey and that situation. The situation that Johnny Morton and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs put Marlon Humphrey in. How do you play that if you're in his position?
It's a conundrum. You put the corner, Marlon Humphrey's in a no-win situation, because if they run the ball at you, you have to show up in the run game. It's down, 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 and the ball goes to you. So it's really the offense saying, hey, we're going to isolate the corner in the run game, and we're going to make him tackle the running back. But at the same time, you have to be Popeye, Mitchell. You got to see that receiver in your peripheral, because if he takes off, you got to cover him too. Now, if you turn your back and cover him and they run the football, they're out the gates and nobody's there. And so it's a really great play from the Detroit Lions and Johnny Morton. It's a play that I had to deal with when I was in San Francisco in 19. The Cincinnati Bengals ran it right near the goal line, and it put me in a bad situation because I went to cover the route. They play action. They ran the ball. It's a touchdown. Like you're danged if you do, danged if you don't. Because if you go down to stop the run, he's wide open. If you go to stop the pass, the run's there. So you got to just guess it right. And Marlon Humphrey guessed wrong and then tried to grab him, got the holding call. Masterful game plan by Dan Campbell and Johnny Morton. They came in with a great plan to come into Baltimore and win that way. Woo!
And they
That's
got it
that's a
done.
confidence builder for this team. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I mean, they got to be feeling really, really good. Everybody should be feeling good because this was a quality win against a quality opponent that a lot of people have going to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm right there with you, Rich. You saw it coming into the game. Every analyst on ESPN picked the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm sure there was bulletin board material for Dan Campbell and the boys.
Today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Week 4 football doesn't start until Thursday, but on Hard Rock Bet, there's always something to bet on.
If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets.
Not sure what to bet? Just open up the Hard Rock Bet app. It shows you right there what other people are betting on any day of the week.
You can see the most bet upsets, the top player props from home runs to touchdowns, and a lot more. You can already see trends for the Week 4 games.
And they must not play a lot of defense on the Hard Rock Bet app because y'all are racking up promos nonstop. Daily promotions on the app. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and try your first bet today.
Richard, before we leave here, we got some talking to do here. We got to talk about Nicholas John Bosa.
No.
I know you were casting,
No.
burning sage everywhere in San Francisco, Seattle. I even sparked some up for you here in Detroit. It ultimately was worst case scenario for the San Francisco 49ers. Nick Bosa is out for the season with an ACL tear. Richard, I know you're demoralized, and for those just not viewing on YouTube, Richard's currently crying beneath his 49ers hat on his chair. But Richard, talk to me. I know this has got to hurt. How do you uplift this 49er faithful fan base?
Mitchell, they've lost their favorite son. The San Francisco 49ers, Nicholas John Bosa. It's just, oh my God, Mitchell. It hurts. It's a friend. It's a brother. It just sucks, man. You hate this part of the game. The guy works his tail off. The guy does the things the right way. He shows up in shape, ready to help his team, and you just hate to see it, man. I guess the small bit of good news is it was a clean tear. He didn't damage anything else in his knee. So hopefully they can, reattach it and or do what they need to do. And there's a lot of different ways they do the ACL surgery, whether it's cadaver, whether it's, from his patella or, whatever. But hopefully he has a really speedy recovery. He's a guy that, embodies what this team stands for. And it's just a tough situation, but the kind of guy and teammate he is, he's going to try to come in as soon as he can and rally the guys and tell them it's going to be okay. He's going to be in the meetings. He's going to be in the training room. He's going to be there to make sure his guys know that he's with them every step of the way. He's going to work his butt off all off season to make sure he's ready for next season. No question about that. But it's just disappointing. This is the part of the game you just hate. This isn't fanship. This isn't, anything. This is just like, hey, you want the best for one of your guys. And to see him go down like this is just, it's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. It's not about money. He's making his money. He's going to be okay. But you don't want to see a guy get injured, work so hard to be ready for the season and get injured. And it's a huge blow to this team. I know that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are going to do their best to make some necessary moves. I think they'll look at the trade market, knock on some doors, pick up the phone, call the Giants and call the Houston Texans and call the guys who have an abundance of pass rushers and see if anybody is available and what the price is for that on a temporary basis. I wouldn't be surprised if they call about Brian Burns. I, yeah, it's there's a ton of people, but it's just a hard thing to think about right now. You're so on such a high for the San Francisco 49ers to start the way they have, to be as banged up as they have to go to your backup quarterback in the second week of the season, and for Mac Jones to play as well as he has, and they get him 2 wins, and potentially be getting Brock Purdy back, potentially be getting Brandon Ayuk back in a couple weeks. You wanna feel some joy, but this really takes the wind out of the sails for this team. And faithful, I would say just try to keep your head up, and we're gonna get through this. They're doing everything they can. It's just a string of bad luck. It can't be bad. It can't be bad forever. Eventually, things got to turn around. Nicholas John Bosa will be okay. Unfortunately, his season is over this year, but the season for the San Francisco 49ers is not, and the guys will fight until they can't fight anymore. And I believe this team has a chance to continue to be special, and he will be doing the same thing, and he will want the same thing for this team. It's just unfortunate. Oh, Mitchell, it hurts.
Brutal news, Richard. I feel for you. I feel for the 49er fan base, no question about it. But like you said, Nick Bosa is one of those guys. He's going to be back better than ever next year when he gets back. But it's just devastating, especially after such a hot start to the season at 3-0. Richard, before we wrap up, I got to know. I mean, and maybe you need a little bit more time to think about this, but I'm going to put you on the spot. I know there might be some recency bias at play here, but what is the Richard Sherman top 5 for this week of your power ranks?
Mitchell, it's too soon. I'm in tragedy. I'm in mourning. Oh, Mitchell, you just want to do it because of Detroit. Mitchell, We're gonna leave the Philadelphia Eagles at 1. I thought about it. I wanted to move Buffalo into 1. I didn't feel great about Buffalo's performance, so it was tough. If the Rams would have won, there'd be a lot of change in the top 5, but they didn't. So the Philadelphia Eagles, reigning champs, keep finding a way to win. They're 1. Buffalo Bills got to be 2. They're doing it. They continue to find ways to win. Tough division game. Josh Allen continues to play at an MVP level. He's 2. 3, they found a way to win a tough division game. The LA Chargers went out there. They were losing that game. They showed grit. They showed determination. Quentin Johnson continues to have his showcase, his coming out party, starting to blossom into everything they thought he would be. So I got the Chargers at 3. 4 and 5 is where it gets tricky. 4 and 5 is where it gets tricky, Mitchell. Where do we go for 4 and 5? Because everybody who has a 3-0 team is going to feel like they need to be there. Every 3-0 team is like, oh, we deserve to be there. We deserve to be there. We deserve to be there. Yeah, all 3-0 teams aren't created equal, and I wanna put you there. The Green Bay Packers. You guys, I know you want to stay. I know you want to stay. It's hard. It's hard because I told you guys the concern I had was the quarterback situation. So I'm going to put the Detroit Lions, who were beat by the Green Bay Packers, at 4. They look
Green
too
Bay
good
fans are going to be yelling, but Detroit looked darn good today.
They just lost. Hey, you want to yell at somebody else. Don't lose to the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. No, don't do it. Makes it hard to put you in the top 5 when you lose to the Cleveland Browns. But at this point, I'm gonna have to leave them in because nobody else has shown me enough. Do I want to go? Do I want to go Indiana Jones? Am I that bold? I can't. I'm gonna go
He's on the
Indiana
cusp.
Jones. They are on the cusp. The Indianapolis Colts have me this close to believing. It might be fool's gold. I don't want to dive out there and then pull. Hey, they gonna pull the rug from under me. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do that. But will I do it? I don't know, Mitchell. Green Bay Packers or the Indianapolis Colts. Shane Steichen is really putting it together. They really. I'm gonna go with the. They're gonna massacre me for this. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts 5. Hate me all you want,
Wow.
guys. No, no,
Wow.
no, 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 no. Indiana Jones. Do I want to do it? Are they that legitimate? Oh, it's fool's gold. It's fool's gold, Mitchell. Green Bay Packers, final answer. I'm done.
I feel like you called your own bluff, Richard. Good
I
work,
did.
man.
I talked myself out of it. I couldn't do it. They're close though. They win again. They're in
They
there.
they are. I think they got it. They got to start like 5-0 just to give everyone that peace of mind that they actually are good. But they certainly look good right now. Daniel Jones, hey, maybe dark horse MVP candidate. Who knows, Richard? If you're putting him in your top
Jonathan
5,
Taylor.
there you go too. There you go too. Well, hey, Richard, this has been a double dip on the recaps this weekend. It's been a heck of a weekend, capped off with a beautiful Honolulu Blue victory with my Detroit Lions. Richard, my friend, sign us off.
As always, we appreciate you joining us. You could be anywhere in the world, and I know you Detroit Lions, you one priders. You are here with us, and you could be anywhere in the world, but we love you, and we are happy for you. Got a big win in Baltimore. Hit that sub button if you're new. We'll see you next time.